Hey guys, it's Andy. She blinded me with refractors. Finally getting around to doing my national recap. I um, I was one of the guys at the show that uh, picked up something a little bit unwanted from the trip in Atlantic City. So just now getting over that. So if you know, you know. Um, so first off, what a great trip, great experience as always. Just a huge fan of the National in general. Always a great time to, get together with friends and meet new people. That's kind of the always the highlights for me. We'll start off. First off, I'll show like the 4 pickups that I made. Yes, I did buy cards. And then we'll talk a little bit more about the people. So, the first pickup, I was actually cruising around the show with Brian B. Roth 6. Came across this card. Um, I have like a long history with this set, so it's hard to pass these up when I see them, guys. So, 1933, George C. Miller, Charlie Gehringer. This is one of the full cards. For those not familiar, if you completed this set back then, you could actually send the complete set in and you would get your choice of a fielder's mitt, or you could get a ticket to an American or National League game of your choice. And once these were actually sent in and redeemed, they would actually cut it off right here, or they would like punch holes in it. So I'm always a big fan of the full cards, and I just thought this one was neat. Couldn't pass it up. Next pickup. So I was at a gentleman's table that had a bunch of 90s stuff, and I was going through some stuff there with our very own Mr. Bob Lewis. We were kind of looking through all these 90s cards, and these two really caught my eye. Just a couple of common players, but what they are is 1997 Precious Metal Gems. I never owned one of these, so I thought they were priced right. Made a nice little bundle deal on the pair. Got them a little bit cheaper, so. And if you're familiar with the Precious Metal Gems in the basketball, they're numbered to 100, with the first 10 being green. In football, for whatever reason, they numbered them to 150, with the first 15 being the green or emerald. So, cool pickups here. I mean, these are just, great looking cards. Kind of an iconic set from the 90s, so can't go wrong with those, right? And then the big pickup. So, we're walking by a table, and I had been looking for this card the entire show, and I walked right past it, and I can't remember. I honestly can't remember if it was Josh, rated rookie, or JT, Triple Crown, that pointed this card out to me. So, knew I was going to have to try to make a deal on this, and the reason I was confused about who pointed it out is because both of these guys actually came back over to the table with me, and kind of wanted to share in this moment, because this is a big card for me, and I've been wanting to get one of these for a long time. So what we have is the 2008 Upper Deck Exquisite Collection. This is the Russell Westbrook Rookie Patch Auto. And as you can see here, I got this one from Sharon at Black Jaded Wolf. She was great to work with on this deal. Definitely, check them out. So yeah, this is a pretty cool one here. If you've followed my channel, Russell Westbrook is my favorite player. I know a lot of people hate him and he sucks now, blah, blah, blah. But this right here, this is the jersey with the Oklahoma City Thunder that, I'm always going to remember him in. And it was definitely cool to have Josh and JT there to. I'm not one that takes a lot of pictures, so I think both of those guys, I think, maybe snapped pictures, so that was cool. So yeah, big pickup, and oddly enough, patience actually paid off for me on this one, because I was wanting to buy one of these last year, and I thought they were a little bit too high, and by waiting and buying it this year, I was able to save about $4,000. So yeah, that was my wallet appreciates that for sure. Let me set these guys back up here in the back, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about the people. So the people, obviously, my top priority at these shows. So we'll start off with the roommates. We had Mike, Baseball Collector, JT, Triple Crown 24, Josh, Rated Rookie, Joe, Silver Jackify, Jake, Legends Never Die, and Jay from Parlay J. So huge shout out to Mike. So it's kind of a tradition now that we kind of travel together to this show, and I will usually go to his house the night before, since we usually fly out early. So Mike and Julie always very accommodating, treat me just like I'm part of the family. Mike, Julie, and Norman, and even Palmer and Jessica. So yeah, everybody just kind of treats me like family when I'm there, which I greatly appreciate. But Mike, he always does a lot as far as coordinating this trip too. And when I say he does a lot of the planning, I mean basically all of it. He booked this Airbnb for us maybe like a week after last year's show. So he's on top of things. And truth be told, like, Mike did a lot of stuff for all of us this week, as far as getting us early access to the show. And quite frankly, we were oftentimes in some places that we probably shouldn't be, but Mike had made the accommodations to make the show the best for all of us. So thanks a lot, my friend. We'll do it again next year. JT. So JT actually picked us up at the airport in Philly, and then we drove about an hour to the show. That first night there at the house, it was just the three of us. So we got to spend a good amount of time, hanging out, catching up, kind of going over our plans for the show. Always a blast to hang out with JT. He had a great show, man. He's always master negotiator. So it's always great to see him work, and yeah, just a lot of fun, JT. Always appreciate it, my man. Josh, Rated Rookie, another great friend of mine. Just one of the nicest guys in the hobby. Like, he's always, looking out for everybody else as far as like cards that, he thinks that we might be interested in, and he's always pointing stuff out, and just a great guy to talk life and the hobby with. So always enjoy it, Josh. Then we have Joe, Silver Jackify. Joe keeps things lively, makes it fun. He likes to joke around, have a good time, which I definitely appreciate. Sometimes I think we all probably take ourselves a little too seriously, and Joe's gonna be the guy that like makes sure that we don't, right? So great time, Joe. Jake, Legends Never Die. So I never met Jake before in person, and you never quite know what it's going to be like when you meet somebody in person for the first time. But with the people that I've met on YouTube, the the odds, I would say, are pretty good that it's going to be a positive experience. And Jake definitely exceeded my expectations. He was just a phenomenal guy. So we had a lot of fun. Uh, we got to hang out a couple of times, just the two of us. We went to lunch, I know, one time, and just got to discuss a lot of different things. And Jake, man, he had a sneaky good show. Like, go watch his recap video. He picked up some monster pieces, some stuff that, quite frankly, you just don't hardly ever see. So the last guy to complete the roommates was Jay, Parlay Jay. He's a good friend of Joe's. I'd never met him in person before, but kind of in the same spirit as Joe, just a real fun guy. Just likes to have a good time. So, when you get a group of guys like this together, we spend a good amount of time throughout the week, laughing a little bit at ourselves, at the accommodations that we had for ourselves. It's just a lot of fun. So really enjoyed that, guys. So now we'll get to some of the other people here. Got to start off with my great friend Eric, Those Back Pages. So the first day that we got there, Mike and JT and we met up with Eric. We went and picked him up at his hotel and kind of went out on the town a little bit. Lots of fun stories from that night, which we won't get too much into, but always a pleasure to meet up with Eric. He's kind of like the grand marshal of the National. He loves the show as much as anyone, and that just rubs off on everybody else. And great time, my friend. So a couple other guys. So Dustin, he is one of Eric's roommates at the show each year. Got to talk to him a little bit. And then Josh Rated Rookie had a buddy there, Jared. So he hung out with us quite a bit as well. Just a couple of great dudes right there. So I'm just going to start going down a list of people that I interacted with. So we had Bob Lewis. Bob, like I talked about earlier, he was over there whenever I picked up these two guys. He and I were just really digging that table there, and lots of cool stuff. And I know Bob got a lot of cool pickups. I'm not sure if he bought anything at that table or not, but he definitely got some pretty neat stuff. So go check out Bob's stuff. The great Mike O. Got to talk with him. Ray from Philly. Filmington, of course, he was one of the hosts along with Joe at the Friday night get together on the rooftop. That was always a lot of fun. Had a great crowd there. They did a great job putting that on. Brian B. Roth 6, got to cruise along with him quite a bit. He actually set up at the show the last couple of days. So tons of fun hanging out with Brian. Andrew, Enough Said Cards. Got to walk the show floor with Andrew quite a bit, which was just a pleasure, just a great experience, because if you're wanting to learn specifically about, pre-war stuff, I got to learn a ton from Andrew just in the few hours that we were able to walk around the show floor together. Just another great guy, super helpful. He's, willing to help out in any way that he can. So definitely appreciate the history lessons, Andrew. That was great. So then we had Dawn's Field of Dreams, George, Diamond Yard Sports Cards, John Mangini, I had never met before. Such a great storyteller. Got to visit with him a couple of different times at the YouTube get-togethers. Just a super knowledgeable guy. He knows a little bit about everything. He might be the most interesting man in YouTube sports cards. Then we had Dave's Midlife Card Crisis. Lou Rock TV, man, that's another guy that I'd never met. Just super impressive guy. He he likes to have fun, and he's he did a lot of video shooting at all the events, and so I'll probably got in some of that stuff because, like I said, I'm not big on filming or pictures really. I kind of like to try to be as present in the moment as possible, so I miss out on a lot of the pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, Lou's a man on a mission, and he had some great Roberto Clemente pickups, so check that stuff out. Alan Aaron from Iconic Baseball. So Al picked up a great Jackie Robinson piece. Definitely go check out his channel. They were just a pleasure. I talked with them a good bit at the YouTube get together. Rick, Vintage Oddball Cards. Scott, Reindeer Studio. Scott, this was the first chance I'd really got to talk with him quite a bit. Scott's a little bit quiet, soft-spoken guy, but man, he's just a great guy and very knowledgeable, very generous. He was giving away all kinds of stuff to people, drawings and stuff that he had done. And as well as the next guy, Eric, Four Leaf Cards, super generous guy. Just always enjoy being around people that are, they're just kind of, they're there to make sure that everybody has a good time and just look out for everyone. The legend, Ed Weskergriff, got to talk with him. Jake, 90s B-Ball Cards, met up with him on the show floor a couple times. Got to hang out a bit. Another super, super nice guy with a great channel. Brad from PSA Canada. So I never met Brad before, and we just kind of saw each other, and we both just, like, he just looked at me, he's like, Andy? And I'm like, Brad. It's just like we knew each other, and we just kept running into each other like every day, and we would always just have a great conversation. Really happy to meet Brad. And then some of the newer YouTubers over the past couple of years I got to meet for the first time at the rooftop get together Friday night. So we had Neo Cards and Comics. I never met him. Flipping Steve I'd never met, and then Dustin, Sports Card Dad. I had met Dustin last year, so it was great to talk to those guys. Kind of bring some of us old head YouTubers together with some of the the newer guys that have come in over the last couple of years. Just kind of it was just kind of neat. Kind of talk to those guys a bit and kind of get their thoughts on some different things, because several of these guys, they haven't been to a ton of nationals, so it's always cool to see and talk to people that haven't been to a ton of them, because you kind of get into see it through a new set of eyes again. So that was a lot of fun. Scott, Big Scott 35, got to hang out with him several times. He gave me one of his t-shirts. Very appreciative of that. Picker Jim S, Steen Gerhardt, a couple of great guys. I don't think I had met them before. Maybe last year. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and watch my recap from last year, but super, super good dudes. Bill, the Hall of Fame collector, had a good conversation with Bill at the YouTube get together on Thursday night, I believe. Yeah. Let's see some of the other guys. Jeremy Lee from Sports Card Live. Peter Steinberg, the president of SGC, actually filmed an interview that Mike did with him. I was the camera guy for that one, and then after the camera was off, we had probably a good 20-minute discussion, the three of us. And Peter's a very, very knowledgeable guy, pretty cool dude. So I think SGC is in good hands. We had Jeff Bowman, 1951 Sports Card Adventure. Got to talk with him. I think it was on the rooftop. So that was a lot of fun. talked briefly with Josh from Card Ladder and Cardboard Chronicles. Got to go talk to a couple of my guys that I set up with in Dallas, Justin, 610 Sports Cards, and John Burleson, and then Dave, Jeets too. Always good to catch up with those guys. Those guys, they have incredible cards, but even more so, they're just incredible guys, which is, the main reason I like to associate with them. Lou from Capetta Cards and Comics, now working at PSA, talked to him briefly. Ryan, Card Collector 2, got to say hi to him. Chris, Cardi C Sports Cards, got to talk to him a bit. Cruz from Cruz's Card Stop, he's a young YouTuber who's building up his channel. He had a great show, it looked like. Got to talk to him a little bit. Ben, Dead Guy Cardboard, Mike, Hitman23, Kenny Fornos, Roth Cards, talked to those guys a little bit. I always see them at Dallas. They're always running around like madmen. Vince, NY Yanks Fan 7. I'd never met Vince before. Vince and I had some great discussions. I know, at the YouTube get together, I think it was the Friday night, when he and I probably talked about Curb Your Enthusiasm for a good solid 20-25 minutes, just talking about some of our favorite episodes and whatnot. So that was a lot of fun. So thanks for that, Vince. Got to see Jeff, formerly Pat Geek. I guess still Pat Geek, but currently with Panini as well. Luke, Up North Collectors, got to talk to him a little bit about his new shop and how that's going. Victor, the Rookie Card Specialist. John Newman, John Keating, Brad, the whole Hobby Hotline crew. Got to talk to them. Got to see them on the main stage. Mike was up there as well, so went over there and tried to support those guys and as they made their main stage debut. John, Wade Boggs fan, got a custom from him. That was always great. James, Elite Hunter. Brandon from Baubles and Ball Cards. I'd never met him. He's a great guy. I was really happy that I got a chance to meet him. We had several good conversations. I got to meet the legendary, the infamous Ziggy No, and he was actually seemed like a pretty good guy. So so I met Ziggy No. Let's see, who's a couple other people. Staven Sports Cards, Mike, the Vintage Composer. So that's kind of a list of the people I can remember. I'm sure there's others, and I hate that I can't remember every single person, but I try to remember as many as possible. And some people don't like to go through lists like this because they're going to leave somebody out, which is just inevitable. I like to throw the names out there because it just I think it's important to mention people and kind of give them credit if they have a channel, or even if they don't have a channel, just to kind of, I don't know, I like to mention people's names. To me, it's just kind of important to do that. So the show itself, people were worried about, would people go to Atlantic City? I can say with 100% certainty, yes, they will go to Atlantic City. The show was super busy every day that I was there. You really had to take advantage of the early morning hours before the general public started really rolling in, because it was, once they got in there, it was difficult to get to some of the tables and places that you wanted to get to. So time management was important as far as scoping out things early in the morning. Atlantic City itself, I mean, it kind of, I don't know, like, I'd heard stories about Atlantic City, and I'm not really sure if my expectations were um, exceeded or not. Let's just put it that way. Um, I think the general consensus between, for most people that went to the show was they wouldn't be upset if it was not in Atlantic City again. And I mean, I would kind of share those sentiments. I just think there's better venues. Um, and I think there's probably a good opportunity to try out some different places too. Not just have it in the same three places all the time. I think it'd be cool to move it around a little bit. So hopefully they decide to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much about it, guys. It was a great time as always. I'm already looking forward to next year's national. I think we've already got our accommodations booked for next year. And the last thing I wanted to say is I want to give a shout out to my guy Garrett Cardcutter. He is about to go on his final deployment in the U.S. Navy. He's going to be gone for he's not exactly sure. I know that I heard him say in his last video he's thinking approximately 7 to 10 months. So hopefully it'll be on the shorter end of that. But just wanted to tell Garrett that obviously we all appreciate everything that him and all the other men and women in service provide for all of us each and every day. We're definitely gonna miss you while you're gone, but we are looking forward to you coming back. And I'm just super excited about next year's national already, because it'll be the first time that I'll get to meet Garrett in person and shake his hand and just kind of let him know that we all appreciate him. So yeah, that's really kind of the last thing I'll say. We'll kind of end it there. But great show, and let's do it again next year, guys. Take care.